And welcome back. Wednesday, hump day, our favorite day of the week. Obviously, you've seen I've got the truck primered, and I said all I had to say about anybody making snarky or shitty comments. I'm over it. Don't care about you, don't care about me. Either way, got the ramp hooked up here to the tires and shit, because I'm going to get this down here because I want to put it on this check pallet, and I want to flip it eventually. So basically, once it gets down here, we'll use the boards, we'll flip it over, and then I will throw another pallet, probably take those tires off once it gets down here, and use that pallet to flip, because I want to paint the underside, or I'll stand it on its side. Either way, it doesn't matter. I might just flip it up on its side and then do that and hold it down, and then clean the bottom up and do that, because I don't want rust going back over that I just did and try to take care of. That way it keeps it clean. This thing doesn't move that bad. I just had two boards under it and I got to shove some, so I do have this secured with this right here, so I'm not worried about the ramp going anywhere once the shit hits the fan and it starts going. Yes, it'll probably slide down pretty quick because there's nothing holding the fifth wheel. Is that a problem? No. Is that unsafe? Nobody's out here but me. This is sitting on top of these boards, which it also has these little feet in here. I think it's completely fine. It's not that big of a deal. I just need it off the tires. And what it took me to throw this up real quick, it would take me twice as long to build an engine hoist to lift it off and slide it down. So stop worrying about that and worry about yourself. That's all you need to do. Apparently your mom didn't teach you that, but it is what it is. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. Hook up a time lapse probably, and you can see it slide down. I'm gonna go get the boys though, so they can see this, because they'll probably like, whoa dude, what the are you doing? And I'm like, watch me whip, watch me nay. So I'll be back, and then I'll hook up a time lapse or something maybe. On the show, on the Chad Teagan YouTube channel show. All right, so Noah's out here with me. Noah, what'd you think about that?
I mean, this is redneck ingenuity at its finest. As easy as it could be. I had a pinky on the thing and it came down.
It wasn't as heavy coming down that ramp either.
No.
Did you feel like the integrity and structure of the aluminum ramp was going to fall through at any time and we were going to crush our feet?
Not for a second.
Me neither, and neither of us have steel toes on, so yeah, and it's sitting right there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to basically take the ramp off. Actually, I'll probably grab the pallet. Yeah, we'll probably pull this off, and then I'm going to have him get rid of the tires and take them back over to the storage room, and then I'm going to use that pallet. We're going to try and flip this over, or just set it on its side safely to where I can get to the bottom and work with it. And if I need to ratchet strap it to where it won't fall down or anything, or secure it, I will, because I'm going to work as safe as possible. You know that haven't lost any limbs yet or broken anything working on an old truck. I have fell a couple times, but who hasn't? So yeah, that's what it is. Are you happy?
Thrilled.
Are you gonna be happy?
Yes.
I walk in and I said, no, you got to see this. You're gonna want to see this. And he just looked at me like this. His eyes got all big. He was worried like I just fucked something up, but okay, so right here is why I wanted this down. You can see all this rust jacking right here. So I'm basically gonna knock and clean the most of this I can, and then I'll grind it down and sand it to where it's smooth. I'll prime it, and then we'll be able to throw it back on. It may be a little bit, I may even heat this up with a torch and try to bend it straight. I don't know if I can because my torch is just a small one. I don't know if I can get enough heat on that to do that, but I may whack it with the mallet and see if it'll go or not, you know. Noah's been banging out lately some updates for their channel, so make sure you're checking those out, because I told them I can't do their stuff for them, and they're going to need to do it for when I'm gone, and they'll want to shoot content continuously on the truck and stuff like that, and he's been doing a super job. He's not camera shy at all, so I'm proud of him for what he did yesterday when he was out here. So I'll give him a thumbs up, and make sure you like and subscribe and keep watching their stuff, because they are going to be putting out further content on the truck and going to shows with it and taking it to the shows and being able to film some stuff. So you're gonna have to follow along once I'm gone. Muncie is in their hands, you know what I mean? And we're back on a hump day. Got the bottom primed and the sections that is going on the frame painted. Probably can't see that. Oh, sure can't. He just went for a ride too. Bumped off my cheap ass thing that supposed to be lifetime, but I can get a hold of those people and they'll send me a new one. Anyways, that's painted up where it needs to be. Anything else can, once it's on the frame, can be shot from under. I didn't do that because I didn't want to waste some rattle cans that I'd got today when we went back out, me and Noah. The bottom of this is done. I still need to clean some grease up right here and shoot this the rest of the way. And then this is going to get shot too. These are going to get shot in here, and then I'm going to sand this down, this section right here. It's going to get sanded down, and then I'm probably going to clear over it. That way it's got a nice shiny coat and nothing rusts out. Hopefully I can get all that stuff off, shoot it with some stuff, and then keep it from rusting, and then it'll look like that until they decide to put a trailer on the back of this truck. Took the liberty to shoot with some Rust-Oleum, just the spots on the frame where the fifth wheel plate's gonna go. This stuff, because I'm not gonna be able to access it once I have that on there. Most of this stuff I can get while I'm down there. It ain't no big deal because I can work my gun, which I need to go to Harbor Freight and get me a cheap, like a $15 one. Maybe Noah's going there tonight. Maybe I'll shoot him. I'll talk to him and just have him pick me one up on there, because I told him I don't want to shoot with my cab gun while I'm down there, because I don't want to bonk around with stuff, because I'm going to be bonking stuff when I'm down there, because it's a tight fit and I'm going to be bonking stuff when I'm shooting, and I'll bonk it, and I don't want to bonk it. So that's that. Once that frame gets painted this weekend, we will be able to mount those tires if we want to and do that, because we can just throw some Visqueen over that when I decide to paint the actual cab and engine. All of that stuff can get covered up. I'll probably just wrap it up with plastic, that way I don't get no overspray when I do shoot the engine, and then it should be good. So that's what I'm going to be jamming on tonight. It's a little bit chilly in here because I had the exhaust fans going, so I may close those windows up there, because when the exhaust fans stop, if you can see that up there, that light coming through, those vents don't close all the way, so I have to go up there, walk across that wall to close them. If not, when it's 11 degrees outside, it's going to be 11 degrees in here, and I'm just wasting heat. So that's what's going on right now. Bring you back once I get done with it. There's really no reason for you to watch me spray this stuff. Yeah, that's just some surface rust. I've already sanded it down. This section's going to be covered. It really don't matter, because that's all going to come back, but I'm not going to slide it back until we have it on the actual cab, because the weight situation, it's mostly towards the middle right now, and it's a heavy son of a bitch when it's all the way at the end. We don't want that. We want it as light as possible. That way that's why I have it where it's at. So yeah, but yeah, that's what I'm going to do here real quick. This turned out pretty good. I did shoot this, but it will go on top of the thing, and I'll be able to shoot it with a gun. But this will all be done, so I'll cover this when I actually shoot it. That way I don't get no overspray on it, because I want to get that taken care of tonight and get that all wrapped up. And then tomorrow morning, or sometime tomorrow, I told them we are mounting that up there. We're not going to bolt it in. We don't have to bolt it in. I think I've said that about bolting it in, but I don't remember. And sometimes I don't remember, because a lot of stuff goes on here. Like, I have repeat myself to those guys, because one guy will come out and I'll tell them, and then 15 minutes later, another guy will come out, and then I'll have to tell him. So if I repeat myself, it's just what it is. I'm repeating myself because sometimes people don't want to listen, and they just don't catch it the first time, or they only hear what they want to. So sometimes I repeat myself because, well, I have to repeat myself. So if I repeat myself, I'm sorry. It's just me repeating myself. You dig what I'm saying? All right, Thirsty Thursday, and just jamming out here. This was what I got done last night, if you can see that. I still need to get a lighter grit because I hit it with 800, then I used 320 on it, like 5 pads, and you can see that I painted all that stuff up. I have some special things that are going to go in this section and in here because that was originally red, so that's probably going to be brought back, and that's just dust and stuff that's in there from the sanding and whatnot that can get cleaned out. But yeah, that's that. There's some clear for when I am done with it, but it's pretty much ready to go on the plate once the plate is installed, which we're going to do that this afternoon, but I'm jamming on some other things. Went with the scuff pad and pretty much scuffed this up so it's smooth as a baby's butt. There is going to be still some ripples and orange peel and stuff like that, which they didn't even know what orange peel was, and when I explained that, and some divots from, you know, just it being 53 years old and having some character in it, so it's not bad, but like they don't mind this stuff, and I showed them what the orange peel looks like, and you have to really like get your light and point it out in here to see that. This is all done, and I can shoot over this too if I want to. If it gets some overspray on it from when I actually do the frame, that's fine. I just wanted to get everything coated right now. It's been primed and painted with some rattle can stuff, but when I do actually spray that stuff, the fifth wheel plate, the top plate and stuff like that's going to get covered up so it doesn't get mucked up when I do it, and then that, if it gets some paint on it, ain't no big deal. So pretty much got all this stuff knocked down and ready to shoot. It's supposed to be, I wanted to do it Saturday, but it's supposed to be 25 degrees, and I would just run through a shitload of diesel, and don't want to do that because I just sucked everything I could out of Frank this morning to get like 20 gallons in the thing and fill up the $10 or 10 gallon, salamander. So I'm going to need to take Frank and make a run this weekend, probably to top him off with some fuel. That way I have some to get for the thing. Anyways, moving on to the engine. Took some alcohol and then some lacquer thinner and cleaned the back of this off because there was some grease and shit like that. And obviously I don't want to paint over grease because we know it doesn't stick as soon as you hit it with a pressure washer. And when the cab's down, you're going to see this. So this is the main focal part of the engine that will be sticking out, and then when you look down, you'll be able to see this stuff. So this all be sexed up and stuff. So I'm basically prepping this to where I can get it painted too, and I can shoot that. The rest of the way, obviously you've seen this more than once right here, but pretty much what I'm doing right now is I'm cleaning this tube up because I'm going to probably paint this the same as this, and then the pan down here is going to be painted like that too. So I'll have to get down and get everything that you can see from the naked eye, just standing here like this, and get that all cleaned up because I'd like to shoot it with that. Silver, I want a two-tone engine, kind of like my brother James did on his. Big shouts to James Pretty and the James Pretty YouTube channel. Keep on trucking, brother. So yeah, I'm pretty much just hitting this with the wire wheel right now to peel off some of this grime and shit. I'm not sure what this thing is, if there's any kind of lube or fluid in here or not. So I would take this off, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to be super careful and move the wires when I need to, or the hoses when I need to do that stuff. And then I may start wrapping tin foil around this kind of stuff so I don't get any overspray on it. But I do have lacquer thinner. I've got that aircraft paint remover. I've got reducer. Like yesterday when I was doing this, obviously when I was shooting this, I shot over this and there was stuff in here. So basically this is almost like an optical illusion that looks like that fifth wheel is being used, even though it isn't. Yeah, I just took this right here, this medium high temp reducer, and cleaned that off, and boy is that stuff strong. Will eat your finger off if you don't have gloves on. I needed thicker ones than this because it was warping that out. Moving along, there is paint in here, which I waited because I didn't finish it last night. I wanted Noah's opinion because his opinion matters to me since he's an employee here and he has a lot of say in what's going on, because a lot of times it's just me and Noah doing things. So I value his opinion, even though he's a younger gentleman and really doesn't know anything about this stuff, and this is all new to him. But still, I like his perspective on what I'm doing to get another opinion, so it's not all me, and I do have someone else to communicate with, because talking to myself sometimes gets a little old, and it happens, but it is what it is. Sometimes you have to, or you'll go extremely crazy. No, there's not voices in my head. They talk to me. So I'm gonna leave that stuff in there. That way it looks like it's being used. It's an optical illusion. It's like a tearaway paint job because it's in those cuts and stuff like that, because I don't want to waste my time sanding this down completely. If you would want to waste your time sanding yours down completely, good for you. I'm not going to, because, well, it's not my stuff, and eventually this will be used, so that's why I'm not going to spend too much time on it. I'm just going to sex it up for the truck show for the first one, and then after that I'm going to try to find them a trailer that we can get ready so they can actually use that to take to shows too, and they can build a bunkhouse. That way their guys can stay them and they don't have to worry about renting hotels and stuff like that every time they go to a show, because time is money and money is time, and why not try to save them some money and time from going back and forth to shows. That way they can just stay there and they don't have to worry about leaving, and if they want to have a good time, they can have a good time. With that being said, I'm gonna start having a good time. Right now is the time that I like to be in a truck, where I get to be creative and I get to do different things, and I like to paint. I enjoy painting things. I enjoy doing Frank, and I thought to myself, man, I would love to paint another truck. So here's my opportunity to do one for my friends that's gonna be the cornerstone of their business and their pride and joy, basically, when I get done with it. So that's what's going on today on a Thursday. I'm just gonna knock this out. I'll set you up on a time lapse so you can watch that thing get cleaned real quick. I have a ladder right here that I'll move over to the other side, and then I'll just work it and get up and do that stuff. Shouldn't be too long, maybe a minute or two when it's done. Probably take me 10 or 15 minutes to do it anyways, if that. But yeah, I'll throw some classical or one of my songs in there that basically, you know, the one song at the end of all the videos basically says, I really don't care what, you know, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and if you don't like it, you know, you can go fuck yourself, because you ain't me and you're not doing it. So that's what's up. Okay, so that was like 31 seconds on the time lapse, probably 5 minutes if that, but I still need to, get some sandpaper and stuff like that, and another wire brush so I can get some of these closer spots, because I want this pretty much smooth as possible. I'll probably leave some of that old stuff on there, because we don't care about a little bit of character on a truck, especially something that really nobody's going to see except from the back anyways, so it really doesn't matter. If you know what I mean. So if it's not good enough for you, it's really doesn't matter if it's not good enough for you, because, well, once again, it's not your truck and it's better than what it was when we got it. So yeah, and you know, you're always going to have doubters and stuff, and I know that, but I'm just I just don't like new people that come along on the channel that never seen my stuff before, my work, and think they know everything about the truck and me, and want to run their mouth. And I don't put up with shit, so I'm not going to take your shit. So if you say something stupid in the comments, I'm probably going to talk about your mom, and if you don't like it and you say something rude about my wife, it's probably going to go in the hidden comments, which only I can see until I see them, and YouTube will not approve them and put them on my stuff. So you should probably just be smarter than have to go to that level. If you're not smarter than that, then you probably shouldn't even be commenting anyways, because I'll eat you alive in the comments. Without even cussing or saying anything wrong to you, so you won't be able to handle it, and that's all there is to it. Well, I'm back after lunch, and had a quick one, because there was a driver that pulled out here, and I'll show a clip of his truck that Tracy brought back yesterday, because he wanted to check out the truck because he heard about it. Well, he's seen the clip of us taking the fifth wheel off or something like that, and he parks out here. He's kind of like on call. He works for this company that he's leased on to since 1987, and when they need him, he'll do stuff. If not, he's basically retired. But I'm out here scraping dirt and shit off this engine and grease, and I've basically done that. You know, I've done that for 2 weeks. I laid on my back and scraped a bunch of dirt and grease and grime from the bottom of this truck. I even showed it on the thing, but yet there's one guy that comments, and I think he's new from just me getting this truck that seems to know everything about the truck via Chattanooga Free Press when they did that little article, and he likes to answer questions for me. But look, bud, look at all this dirt down here, and there was a bunch of grime and shit right here, and I'm not going to move the light, but you know, don't think that this truck is extremely clean just because it's, you know, sat in a barn for all its life, because when it was used, if you're smart, it worked in a rock quarry. So there's a bunch of fucking dirt and stuff built up under here, all this grime, and back in here was just caked and coated, and under here was coated also. So it doesn't matter that it has low miles and it sat in a barn, because when it did work, the thing worked like a dog. So you can stop answering comments in my YouTube channel, comments, and just worry about yourself. Just enjoy what I'm doing for you, because this is exactly why people don't make YouTube videos and don't post their stuff on social media, because everybody thinks they know everything or has an easier way to get things done. But not everybody wants to do YouTube to deal with jackasses that don't know shit, or, you know, just like to comment because they think they're cute or something. But yeah, other than that, I'm just tired of society and people thinking they know stuff. It just drives me crazy, because you're not doing this stuff. You've probably never done this stuff. And if you've done this stuff, good for you. And if you do have a YouTube channel, I probably never watched it, because A, I don't have time. I'm too busy, nor B, do I care. I don't care about your stuff or what you're doing. I appreciate the viewers that have been with me from day one, that have seen me work both of my trucks. Worked on Betty White, went down to Arkansas, worked on James Pretty's stuff with him, been to his shop many times, worked on many trucks with him, old trucks. And you guys are solid, all you guys that have been supportive from day one. But you know, that wasn't for me. Going off the last couple videos wasn't for anybody like that. You guys are awesome. You've always been there. I appreciate your support and all that. This is for the new guys that come along that think they're going to say whatever they want to me, who don't even know me. And to be honest, I don't know you, nor do I care who you are. Like, I'm a simple man with a simple plan, and I'm just going to sit here and clean up a bunch of stuff like this with my little toothbrush that I'm going to brush my teeth with later. And no, it's not really, but it's just the smallest thing that I have that I can get to spots. You know, I'm not too worried about a lot of this stuff, and neither should you be, because it is going to look better than what it does now. So just be thankful that I'm doing this and putting this out here, because a lot of people do stuff in professional shops in a professional manner and don't post it because they don't like to deal with jackasses. And I've gotten used to it, but you know, being here by myself and not doing a whole bunch of stuff with other people and just being alone kind of gets to you once in a while. And I'm thin-skinned and somewhat irritated about a few things, so it's what it is. Other than that, when I was talking to Donald, the guy you're going to get to see in the clip here in a minute, he was telling me that he has a stack of these plates up here, because he says, oh, did this have a wet kit on it? I said, yeah, the tank's right over there. He's like, well, I'd like to have that. How much do you want for it? I said, well, let me talk to Evan and see what, you know, he wants. I said, I'd like to take this off because there's no reason for it. They're never going to use it, but I don't know where I can get a plate. And I don't want to go digging around and calling and wasting my time when I've got a shitload of other things to do and a deadline to meet. He says, I got to stack them at home. Let me take some pictures. It's just 4 bolts, blah, blah, blah. I'll bring you one back. And I said, cool. And I was talking to him about these, this hub. I said, I need to take it off. He says, yeah, it's simple. Just zip those out, pull it off, blah, blah, bling, blah, blah, boom. I said, you done it before? He's like, yeah, a million times. I said, okay, dude. So he's probably going to come on Monday and we're going to take that off, and he's going to teach me the right way to do that. So I know how to do it in the future, which I've seen somebody do before. I just don't know about sliding the axle back in. He says you just slap it back in, and James said it, and Don said it too, and my buddy Josh said it too. But for being the first time, I just want to make sure I do it right and I don't mess anything up with this truck, because that's the last thing I want to do is mess something up. But I also don't want it holding me up anymore, because I would like to get the wheels and mounted and then possibly slap back on, because I'd like to finish this painting up sooner than later. That's why I'm getting the engine sexed up, so I can shoot it probably before I do the frame, because what I'll do is I'll shoot the engine and then I'll let it dry. I will, because I got the heater blowing right at it, so it'll be fine. And then I will wrap it up with plastic and shoot the frame the rest of the way out, and then that'll be done. This will be done. Those will be painted too, because I'd like to paint those at the same time that I actually paint the frame. Then I can drop the cab and start working on that. get that knocked down and painted sooner than later. So as soon as the boss gets here, because Noah just went to the airport to pick him up, I'm going to tell him I need the date code for the paint because I need to get that ordered as soon as possible and ready. So I would say within, we're on this week right here, we're on 29, 30, 31. Let's see. By this week here, that cab will be painted. That's 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, I want this cab painted because then I can pack 90% of my shit up because I'll be 90% done with only needed to do a little bit of tinkering left, detail work, etc. Like I've been telling them, we're getting to the good part right now. We're getting to the good part right now. I'll shoot what I can shoot. I'll give you updates when I can give you updates, but I really don't care about the camera. I'm more concerned about getting the job done. But I'll try to do some time lapses for you at least. That way you can see some stuff like that of me doing the cab. So yeah, I'll be basically putting the truck back together when I come back down, and then I've got a long range of time from the 14th to the end of March that I'll be able to do it. I'm just trying to get all the major stuff knocked out and done now. So it is done, and I can go back up home and have some fun, if you know what I mean. It's down too low. I don't know, maybe it's good enough.
I believe what you may have in your truck is a Super 290.
Okay. Detroit. Probably a 60 series. Oh, the panel's still there. That's nice, or that thing. Shag carpet, baby. He came back yesterday in the shop and talked to me. Oh yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Was talking about throwing on Muncie. This looks like it was an old, well, I'd say toter, but I don't know if it is or not, but it's got the mirror set up for it. Maybe he's just got the mirror extensions for what he's hauling, the oversize. I don't know, I'll have to ask him when I get a second. He's busy right now. Looks like he just had some work done to cross member or something on his frame right behind his fifth wheel. It's got some nice new shiny bolts, so that's probably what happened. So, Super 290. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I told the boys, I said we should get one of these for Muncie. But, I don't know. I don't know. We got to do what we got to do to get it. He just banged her there, so he's probably got it. Oh, did you have that put on, that hitch, that ball hitch? Is that what you had done?
I put everything on. I put this hitch.
Oh, nice.
I pull anything made.
That's what's up. Look at that big ball in there. Yeah.
That's a 3-inch screw string.
Nice. Well, just sitting in the recliner here. Let's do a quick walk around. I did not get the fifth wheel plate put on because there's more important things for me to do. I spent basically all day prepping this engine for primer and paint. Now I'm going to use that heat paint to primer it, and then I'm going to shoot that other stuff over it. Some of the stuff, oh, I missed a spot right here. Forgot that. I'll have to get the grinding wheel out and, you know, do that. There's that engine number. I think I might leave that blank. I'll talk to the boss tomorrow and see what he wants me to do. Maybe just clear over it. I don't know. We'll see, but there's that. It's not on. So I'm a big fat liar, and I lied too because, well, that's really not necessarily something that has to be done right now. That can wait until this weekend. There's supposed to be some people here, so I'll have a little bit of help, and I'll be able to do it. And even if they're not here, I can still throw that ramp up, but it is supposed to be like a bomb cyclone coming through, so it could be another situation like last weekend, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, tomorrow I'll prep the rest of the engine. What I'm going to do is I got a bunch of tin foil in there that I got that I'm going to wrap around the hoses and stuff because that's easier than taking things off. What I don't want to paint, at least, you know, the rubber stuff. Any of the other hoses I really don't care, neither do they. If they get painted, it might look kind of weird if there's some red and then they end up black down the line, but it's what it is. You know, it's just one of them situations where I told them I was going to paint the hoses because I really don't care, and they don't either, because like I said before, this truck's going to like 10 truck shows a year. It's going to be stored in a building, so it's going to be stored in here. Any other time it's not running down the road, so it's going to be a clean truck. And they've got a couple trailers out in the back 9 that need moved, and I said, listen, I'll move them with Frank. This truck doesn't need to be running out in that sand and stuff and getting dirty and then having to be washed and having some issues from that. So we'll try to keep it as pristine as possible for the things I do to it. That way it stays nice for longer. The longevity of this truck being nice is the goal. You know, even though I'm doing this quick Resto-mod on it, it's whatever. And we want to keep it as nice as possible for as long as possible before I have to start sexing things up with a rattle can, because I don't really want to do that. But if I have to, I will. And I told them that, and they know that, because I can get both of that Tractor Supply stuff that I got to paint in rattle can form. It just may be a little discolored because of you know, being all newer and stuff like that than what it was when I sprayed it with the actual gun. So it's what it is. But there's your update for today, or tonight. I'm done. It's past 11 o'clock. I'm waiting for my laundry to be done in the washer. Then I'm gonna switch it over to the dryer, and that way I have fresh stuff to wear, because I wear the same stuff every day. That way I'm not trashing a bunch of clothes. And I'm just working in the shop. Honestly, I haven't been out besides one time to go get supplies, 2 times to go get supplies in the last week. Other than that, I'm basically living here in this shop, and day and night, sleeping Frank, you know that. And then, you know, you see my bathroom, so it's basically what it is. But it's nice to have Evan back, the team back together, and boost morale for everybody. So we're getting there. I mean, I'm getting there. I'll get there. I'm not worried about anything. Not worried about nothing. I am not worried about nothing. And if you go over to their channel, the Truck Parking Club YouTube channel, you can see Evan. He is the boss. He is the CEO. And this is his shop. This is their headquarters. So, you know, this is where the truck's going to live the rest of its life out, besides when it runs down the road and hits some shows. Other than that, it's their stuff. I'm just here doing the work for them. You know, they asked me if I could find a cabo, and I found a cabo for them. Yeah, everybody thought it was mine. So what? Big deal. I like to, you know, I like to keep things a mystery. That's why I talked about the way I did when I was cleaning it up at the house. You know, said cleaning it up for some friends. And I even said that in the first video that I made, where I was, after I bought the truck, after I gave the guy cash out of my pocket for the truck. And, you know, I said I have some friends that are interested. And I knew when I came up here the first time and met and seen this place and hung out with them, because I've known them for years. I've known Evan for years. Met him at the Semi-Casual Truck Show. He was the very first person from the Truck Parking Club that I ever talked to. So, you know, it's one of those things where I've known the dude for a couple years. I just don't know him like, you know, I've known him all my life, but it don't matter, because he's still my brother and I'd do anything for him. And this is why I'm down here doing this, because I want them to have something, you know, that's gonna represent them well. And that's why I'm doing everything the way I'm doing it, and kind of taking my time and making sure there is grease and stuff cleaned up, and it is clean the way I would want it to be clean, because I still have that in the back of my head, like I didn't do that if I didn't do something, and that would bother me. So, and I don't want to go back through and have to redo a bunch of stuff. So I'm just trying to do it the best way I can, the most efficient way I can, not spend a bunch of money on stuff that I don't need to. That's why I brought a bunch of stuff from home, supplies, tools, so they didn't have to buy them. And what they did have to buy, I'm not trying to run up a huge tab for them. So that's why we didn't get an engine hoist. What's the point of getting an engine hoist? It would have took me longer to put it together. And renting a tow motor is just stupid when I know how to take a fifth wheel off and do it safely. None of us have gotten hurt this whole time. I've been down here for over 3 weeks now, and nothing besides some scrapes and cuts on my hands. And anytime they're out here, I make sure to tell them this is how we're going to do it. This is the safest way that I know how to do it. And anytime I'm doing anything, I'm like, stand back, make sure you're safe, watch your feet, watch your hands. You don't want, you know, I don't want anybody getting hurt on my watch while they're out here helping me. That's why 90% of the stuff I'll do by myself, and they know that. I only need them once in a while to, you know, do some heavy lifting or help me out, so I don't have to do all the straining myself. But other than that, I'm carrying the load here by myself. So it's what it is, and they appreciate that because they're busy people and they don't have time to stop and help me. I have to make sure that they're not on calls or dealing with a customer, you know, and say, when you have some free time, I'll find something else to do, or I'll take a quick break because I'm on my feet all the time unless I'm laying on my back, which I won't do that until I paint the frame again, and then after that I won't be on my back anymore on this concrete. I can tell you that much right now. So with that being said, hopefully you like it, enjoy it, you know, and if not, go buy yourself an old truck and do it yourself. And if you don't want to do that, you can go truck yourself. That's all there is to it.
I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me, and what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan, your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the fucking hours it takes to get some power. Don't be fucking sour, take a cold shower, scream until you're louder, work until you're prouder, and fuck all the doubters, they're just fucking downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm pissed off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown.